When you remain silent with intelligence, a power emerges. He may not immediately realize it, but your silence becomes an echo that reverberates in his mind. Have you ever noticed how some words can be unnecessary? The act of not responding can be more impactful than any verbal explosion. By choosing silence, you withdraw from the battle. This does not mean you are surrendering. On the contrary, it is a form of control. By not engaging in meaningless arguments, you force the other person to confront their own insecurities. What goes on in his mind? Confusion, frustration, the inability to manipulate the situation as he would like. He is lost and doesn't understand why. That silence is often misunderstood. It can be seen as weakness, but the truth is, it is a demonstration of emotional strength. You do not need to explain your position. Your truth remains intact. You know that the value of your words is greater when they are not spoken in moments of desperation or anger. Silence is strategic. While he tries to decipher your intentions, you gain clarity. In that space, it is possible to reflect on what truly matters. You are not just refraining from speaking, you are observing, processing, and preparing your next move. Each second of silence is a step towards your own truth. He may feel destabilized, and that is a reflection of his own insecurities. Sometimes the absence of a response is more revealing than the response itself. This can cause a discomfort that forces him to look within, confront his own fears. Silence transforms into a mirror, reflecting what he does not want to see. When you decide to remain silent, you are not just defending yourself, you are taking a firm stance. This is your most powerful weapon, an act of resistance. You refuse to be dragged into a dialogue that leads nowhere. By doing this, you are also saying that you value yourself. From this moment on, he needs to choose, continue trying to provoke you, or rethink his actions. Silence is a tool that can generate transformation in both. While he tries to understand your behavior, you are already in a place where clarity prevails. You deserve the space to hear your own voice, even if it means leaving the other person feeling off balance. It's not about revenge, but about recovery. Sometimes, silence is what allows the truth to come out. Your silent presence is an affirmation that you do not submit to manipulations. In the end, the true power of silence lies in its ability to set you free. He cannot control your emotions when you decide not to feed them. The choice not to react is a way of saying that you have control over your life. You are no longer at the mercy of anxious communication or confrontation. You own your space and your decisions. When you choose to remain silent, you are allowing yourself a space for self-discovery. Silence creates a barrier between you and the tension surrounding you. It is at this moment that you can examine your emotions, understand your reactions, and plan your next steps. This pause might be what you need to avoid being carried away by unproductive discussions. A well-placed silence can disarm the other person. When they expect an immediate response, your lack of words causes discomfort. This discomfort is an indicator that you are no longer willing to engage in a cycle of communication that does not yield results. You are positioning yourself as someone who does not accept any kind of provocation. This space of silence is also an invitation to reflection. While the other person tries to understand your motivations, you have the opportunity to evaluate the situation more objectively. You can identify patterns that were previously obscured by anger or frustration. What is really at stake? What are your needs and boundaries? The lack of response can make the other party reassess their own approaches. Often, what is revealed through silence is more powerful than any argument. This is an opportunity for you to withdraw and observe the dynamics that unfold. You are not just protecting yourself, you are empowering yourself. When you refuse to enter into an argument, you are showing that you value your inner peace. Every word thrown into the wind in a heated discussion can be a waste of energy. Silence, on the other hand, is an investment in yourself. You are preserving your energy and avoiding unnecessary conflicts. Additionally, silence can create a ripple effect in relationships. By not reacting, you can inspire others to adopt a similar stance. When someone realizes that their attempts to provoke reactions are not working, it can lead them to revise their own tactics. You are not just changing your behavior, but also influencing the environment around you. This act of staying silent can be a form of self-empowerment. You show that you do not need external validation to feel valuable. The affirmation comes from within, and silence becomes a tool that reaffirms your position. This can be a game changer in your personal and professional interactions. You have the right to withdraw from a situation that does not serve you. By choosing silence, you are not just stepping back, but allowing yourself space for your emotions to calm and your mind to clear. This is essential for you to act consciously and not reactively. It is important to recognize that silence is not a form of passivity. It is an active and deliberate choice. You decide not to contribute to a conversation that is going nowhere. This choice can be difficult, especially when the other person is trying to provoke you. But remember, your silence is a sign that you have control over your emotions. Sometimes, silence can be misunderstood. Some people might see your attitude as weakness or disinterest. However, this distorted view does not diminish the strength of your act. What matters is how you feel about what is happening. You know that your decision not to react is a form of protection and empowerment. This space of silence also allows you to reconnect with your true intentions. What do you really want to communicate? Sometimes words can get lost in the midst of emotional confusion. By refraining from speaking, you can question your true motivations and what you would like to achieve with the conversation. Silence provides a moment of pause that can be transformative. During these moments, you can reassess your priorities and what is most important to you. This helps filter out the noise and concentrate on what truly matters. You may realize that some conflicts are not worth fighting. As you become more comfortable using silence as a tool, you also become more confident in your interactions. You learn to trust your intuition and identify when it is the right time to speak or remain silent. This confidence is a sign of emotional maturity and self-awareness. On the other hand, silence can also be a space to cultivate healthy relationships. When you step away from toxic interactions, you make room for more genuine connections. People who respect your space and understand the power of silence tend to be more enriching. You deserve to be surrounded by those who value your decisions. In moments of intense conflict, silence may be your best response. It can serve as a mask that protects your vulnerability while you process what is happening. This space is vital for you to rebuild and position yourself firmly. Ultimately, true freedom lies in your ability to choose how and when to communicate. Silence is a powerful way to claim this freedom. By deciding not to be swept away by the emotions of the moment, you strengthen yourself. This is the essence of self-control and empowerment. You have the power to shape your interactions and, more importantly, your life. When you choose to remain silent, you also give yourself the chance to understand the environment around you. This moment of introspection is crucial to discerning what is really happening. Often, arguments become a vicious cycle where the essence of what is being debated is lost. By refraining from speaking, you have the opportunity to observe the dynamics and emotions of others, capturing nuances that might go unnoticed amid rushed words. Remaining silent does not mean being passive. It is an active strategy. When you decide not to engage in a discussion, you are in fact making a conscious choice to prioritize your mental health. This pause allows you to emotionally distance yourself from the conflict, giving space for your true emotions to surface. You might ask yourself, how do I really feel about this? This reflection helps to clarify your motivations and needs. In a world that values fast communication and instant responses, silence becomes a revolutionary act. It challenges the expectation that you must always be engaged and available to respond. When you interrupt this cycle, you are affirming that your emotions and thoughts deserve attention before being expressed. This commitment to yourself is a step towards valuing your well-being. During a dispute, silence can create a space where the other person is forced to confront their own words and actions. This dynamic can be unsettling for those who expect a quick reaction. Silence then transforms into a tool of revelation, leading the other party to question their intentions and behavior. This discomfort can be the key to a deeper and more authentic understanding. This conscious choice not to engage can elicit a change in interactions. When you decide not to react, you not only protect yourself, but often encourage the other person to reconsider their approach. The impact of silence is powerful, and contrary to what many believe, it can catalyze significant transformations in relationships. Communication becomes more honest when the people involved feel encouraged to reflect before acting. Furthermore, this practice of remaining silent in moments of tension can strengthen your self-confidence. The ability to not be swayed by the impulse to respond immediately reveals a level of emotional control that many aspire to achieve. This not only improves your self-esteem, but also changes the way others perceive you. You become someone who does not need to justify their emotions or reactions. This perception can change how people interact with you, bringing about respect and a new dynamic to relationships. When you allow yourself to be silent, you also open up to listen. Listening is not just hearing what the other person says, but understanding their emotions and intentions. This skill of active listening becomes a valuable asset in any interaction. When you listen, you capture details that can be crucial to resolving a conflict or building a healthier relationship. This practice not only broadens your understanding of others, but also fosters an atmosphere of mutual respect. Being silent can also be an invitation to vulnerability. Instead of protecting yourself through emotional defenses, you allow yourself to feel more deeply. This recognition of your emotions, without needing to verbalize them, is a sign of emotional maturity. You are not afraid to confront your own weaknesses, and this can be a powerful step toward personal growth. Silence also offers the chance to reconnect with your priorities. It allows you to reflect on what is truly important to you. By stepping away from interactions that drain your energy, you can focus on building relationships that are nourishing and gratifying. This focus on healthy connections not only improves your quality of life, but also reinforces your sense of identity. Furthermore, silence is an invitation to reflect on your own boundaries. By recognizing that certain interactions are not beneficial, you become more aware of what you accept and what you do not accept in your life. This clarity strengthens your ability to set healthy boundaries, ensuring that you remain true to yourself and your values. By understanding the power of silence, you also begin to realize how it can be a form of self-care. In a society that often values noise and hustle, choosing silence is an act of rebellion against external expectations. You decide what is best for your mental and emotional health, not allowing yourself to be swayed by social pressures. This self-care, manifested through silence, is also an act of empowerment. You are not just defending yourself, but affirming your dignity and self-esteem. You understand that your voice has value and that at certain times, speaking may not be the best choice. This self-awareness is fundamental to healthy emotional growth. In the end, silence reveals itself as a space for healing and self-discovery. By withdrawing from draining interactions, you give yourself the chance to rise and strengthen. This process of reflection and self-control not only transforms your relationships, but also the way you see yourself. You become an active agent in your life, shaping your experiences and interactions according to your own needs and desires. Recognizing the value of silence is an essential step towards living authentically. You have the power to choose how and when to communicate, and this is a way of reclaiming your emotional freedom. This freedom is a valuable achievement that allows you to live a fuller and more meaningful life. Silence is not just the absence of sound, it is a conscious choice that brings clarity. When you choose not to respond, you are giving yourself the opportunity to observe the dynamics around you. This space allows you to analyze the intentions and emotions of the other person. You can perceive manipulations or insecurities that were previously covered by the agitation of the conversation. This moment of pause is crucial for your well-being. It allows you to filter what really matters, helping to avoid impulsive reactions that can generate more conflicts. By refusing to engage in unproductive discussions, you are protecting your energy and focus. This is essential to maintaining your inner peace and strengthening your position. When you decide to remain silent, you are also sending a clear message about your boundaries. The other person may begin to notice that you are not willing to accept provocations or unnecessary confrontations. This can lead to a change in the dynamics of the relationship, prompting the other to reflect on their own actions. This act of staying silent can be liberating. It creates space for you to reconnect with your emotions and true needs. Instead of reacting, you start to act more consciously and intentionally. This change not only benefits you, but can also positively impact those around you, promoting healthier communication. Silence can be a catalyst for deeper, more meaningful conversations. When you give yourself this time to think, you can bring valuable insights to the relationship. Additionally, this practice helps build an environment of mutual respect, where both opinions and feelings are valued. This space for reflection can become a turning point in your interactions. You observe yourself more closely and become more aware of your reactions. This self-awareness is vital for your emotional growth, allowing you to handle challenging situations more balanced and maturely. Before you leave, do two things now. Take a deep breath and hold on to what touched your heart today. And if it makes sense, share this story with someone who also needs to hear it.